So, my ex-wife, a covert narcissist, she was listening in on me once and spying on me, spying on my internet history as far as what I was researching and stuff like that, because I was researching her. I put down things as far as wife does something, lies and tells me I did it. Wife moving stuff around the house, telling me it's always been that way. You know? Stuff like that. And what happened was she looked at it, and I didn't know this stuff until later on. Once I got my divorce, I did an investigation on her, and I got an investigation done on her professionally to find out that she had been doing a lot of terrible, terrible stuff for years, like poisoning me for years, stuff like that. But anyways, what happened was she saw a psychologist, because I told her she had to, otherwise we'd get divorced. And once I told her that you have to see a psychologist, otherwise we're getting divorced, you have 1 month, she did it years later and said, "There, I got a psychologist. Are you happy now?" I was like, in my head, I was like, "Levon, are you talking about 3 years ago when I told you have 30 days? And you just got an appointment now?" I was shocked by it. I was absolutely shocked, but that's how narcissists are now. My ex-wife was a covert narcissist that is newly discovered a psychopath. It is a form of psychopathy. So when you deal with a covert narcissist, just know that you're dealing with a form of psychopath. But instead of them being very outwardly and outgoing, they say, "Poor me, the world has never been nice to me, don't you feel bad for me?" Stuff like that. So, every opportunity has been taken away from me. This happened to me, that happened to me. It's, oh my gosh. Ooh, my cats are cute. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Look at my adorable cats. Look at them. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm pointing the camera at them correctly. I hope you see them. Look at them. Oh. That's Natasha. That's Rocket. And this, that's Tony. Oh, they're so cute. Anyways. One day, she came up to me and said, "Yeah, I overheard you talking to so-and-so, my best friend, on the phone about how I'm a narcissist." So I asked my new psychologist about it, and right there I was like, I knew it. I knew it! Because when I was talking to my friend on the phone, I whispered to him, I said, "I think she walked away behind the door and slowly walked back to listen to me. So if she brings this up later that she overheard this, I'll know she's spying on me." I went right back to talking regular. And sure enough, she said that she was in the bath when it happened. I was like, no, because I talked about it when she left the bath. So I knew she did that. I knew she did walk back, and she had her ear up against the door. So the thing is with that type of person, with that type of psychopathy, is they get misdiagnosed as severe depression and anxiety and stuff like that from a abusive and traumatic childhood. And so she told me that she spoke to her psychologist, what she said, and her psychologist said, "I don't see that at all." And she was always very exaggerated. "I don't see that at all." It's like, okay, yeah, she's lying. But her psychologist was a very old woman, like in her mid-50s, and just got her degree, and claimed to specialize in every form of psychology that exists. Which is funny. The woman had no history, no background, no qualifications. And then she told me about her psychologist diagnosed her with, and she named everything that a covert narcissist is misdiagnosed with. You see, when a psychologist is not aware of psychopathy and a lot of type B or class B personality types, and they don't spend a lot of time into it, they can't recognize it. And covert narcissism is the one that they always misdiagnose as a very traumatic childhood and severe depression and all of that stuff, because that's what the covert narcissist always states was so horrible, so terrible. Got it, kitten? Yeah, you got it. In their life. But be aware of things like that, Really be aware. It's so important to familiarize yourself and educate yourself with leaders in the field, and really do that. Like, you don't want to just look up anybody. For example, I saw a girl put together a lecture on psychopathy, and she, this was a full-blown lecture, and her findings were completely wrong. Her findings were actually assumptions from hundreds of years ago on how narcissism and psychopathy are just the same thing. And it's like, oh my god, that's what people used to assume. And she gave off a lot of assumptions that she did not study, assumptions that come from what happens when you have no education. It was on YouTube. And I was shocked. I was driving at the time listening to this lecture. And I was like, that's wrong. And I was proven wrong at this time. That's wrong. That's just, that one's just ignorance. And I went to the comment section underneath after listening to the entire thing. And I saw hundreds of comments. And everyone saying, wow, this girl has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. All these things were proven. There's comment after comment of people saying, been in the field for so many years, can tell you this is absolutely inaccurate. One person saying, been going to college for this, been in there for 1 month, can confirm none of this is true. So remember that just because there's a lecture on it and it's professional, don't just take someone's word for it. You do always want to go for, I'm putting together my bed frame right now. You always want to go towards the leaders, you know what I mean? The people that are leading the way in the field, that have all or not at all, at least a lot of all the current information, discoveries, and understandings, and building on top of that. But yeah, always stay ahead of the game, really. Always look into stuff, continue to research. For me, I noticed that my now ex-wife, the covert narcissist, 100%er, she is 100% covert narcissistic. There is nothing outside of her behavior, nothing, that was part of a personality. Everything she did was always part of covert narcissism. Everything. And so, I noticed things, and I had my own reasoning on what was wrong with her. And later on, actually some things were months later, some things were years later, there were discoveries by people that were leading the field with the exact same findings that I had. And that's why it's so important that you'll notice something. One thing I noticed, well, I'm not sure if I should say, I will share this. One thing I have noticed recently is the psychopath and an issue with their hand motor skills, especially like when it comes to dancing. I've noticed something with them. And if you see someone dance and there's some certain things that they're doing, it's like only a psychopath does that, because only the brain of a psychopath has this issue that leads to that. You see what I mean? That's how I profile people who abuse children. Is not all people who abuse children have these issues, but a fraction of those people do have those issues, and 100% of those people who have a certain issue, all of them have abused children for a very long time and have gotten away with it for a very, very long time, along with certain things within society that are very abusive that they've gotten away with a very long time. Usually they're from the Midwest or near the Midwest towards the East Coast. And nationality, age, gender, all has a part to play, but I'm not going to get into that because that's for me to know. I don't want to make it easier for someone to be able to cheat something, you know what I mean? So I keep that quiet. And it's important when you learn profiling on your own to keep a lot of the things quiet. There's no reason to share them. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention that to you. As far as if you are a victim of narcissistic abuse, and it may be something as bad as psychopathy or whatever, if you're staying up to date, if you're listening to these lectures, if you're doing the studies on different types of narcissism and where that narcissism is coming from, you'd be surprised how easy it is to spot. Actually, recently, there was a girl, a nurse, out of Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh or some crap like that. And I was able to predict, along with other people, predicted how she would behave if I reached back out to her with kindness, how she would respond. And she responded 100% psychopathy. She responded in a way that 100% only a psychopath would respond in. Rushing it, the way she responded, the words she used, what she said, the projection, the things she made claims about me that is absolutely 100% outside of my behavior that I'm not capable of acting like. I'm very empathic. I don't have abusive narcissistic tendencies, nor am I capable of acting in that way, because my brain doesn't work that way. But since me and a group of people understand this so well and viewed her past history so well, it's like, okay, she'll say this and this and this about you because these are the main things she hates about herself, and she did that to you, so she's going to claim that you did it to her and other people. And she did it on her first response. She has a very high point. She's like a mid-30s to high 30s when it comes to psychopathy, which are the dangerous ones. Very dangerous. But, yeah. Always keep an eye on that stuff, man. Always look at the new discoveries and keep yourself familiar. Because I'll tell you this, one thing I've learned in life, with a high IQ, fortunately, and curiosity for truth, no bias, you will be able to implement things in world situations, practical application, better than a lot of people who've been doing it for decades as a profession. Because those people are saying, okay, it says this, so I'll obey that. Meanwhile, you're like, it says this because of these reasons and like that, and these are the things that led to that. So, you get what I mean? So you'll have a better understanding than most people if you keep up on everything. But, you are adorable. God, she's cute. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and stuff. God, I gotta work my gut in these man tits. Ugh. So much I gotta do. Anyway, catch you all later. Peace.